Got it. Hello.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, let me,
Good morning, Judge.
good morning. Let me get this going here. Where am I? Hmm.
Are we ready? What's happening?
I think we are, yeah, I'm back on. Okay, would you like to say something, Mr.?
Your Honor, I would note that for any of the criminal complaints on file, we'd waive a formal reading, and as to any no contest pleas, we would stipulate that there is a factual basis unless otherwise noted.
Okay, good. Let's go to Jennifer Hayes, Hayes, 23 CR 05172. What are we doing? Anybody have any negotiations on this?
So on Hayes, Your Honor, no, but she's prepared to enter a plea of no contest to the trespassing.
Okay. All right, Ms. Hayes, are you there?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. Okay, young lady, what's your plea to trespassing on May 15th?
No contest.
Okay, city?
What's that?
Oh, I'm referring to the city, Mr. Altum?
Oh, good morning, Your Honor. The city recommends credit time served.
All right, time served, young lady. Stay out of trouble. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, let's go to Daniel Rodriguez, 07374. Mr. Rodriguez, you're charged with petty larceny, or any deals, guys, on this?
No, I would let you know, Your Honor, no, it's just a plea to the single count.
Okay. Mr. Rodriguez, what's your plea to the petty larceny on July 2nd?
I'm guilty. I apologize for being here, Judge.
Yeah, I know you were 20 other times too.
Yes, sir.
You were apologetic 20 times before today. That's what I've got here. 20 RMC cases. That should be given a prize, some type of an award. City, thoughts?
Your Honor, it shows that he has a history of failure to appear warrants. Looks like the property was recovered in this case, but it was about $600 worth. I'm not sure what looks like he went in on the 2nd. The city's gonna ask for 5 days jail.
Okay. Mr. Carter Conway?
You know, I'm a little concerned about the name of the place where this happened, Aesthetically Speaking Spa.
Yeah.
So I'm a little worried about that name. But Your Honor, I think given the amount, I think everything was valued at almost $500. That 5 days is probably a gift, and I'd ask that you follow it.
All right, Mr. Rodriguez, anything you want to say?
There wasn't $100 recovered. 5 officers asked me for $100. If they're still looking for the $100, I can help them find it if they ask me for my help.
No, that the next approach, since you've got a history here.
Yeah, but there was 5 officers on the scene and they asked me for $100.
You might want to listen while I'm talking.
Yes, Judge.
Yeah, just say you're sorry. You've been here 20 times before. You're a pain in the side. And as a
Can you ask
consequence,
the officers not to ask me for $100?
I'm giving you 10 days, Washoe County Jail, credit for time served towards that 10 days. That'll be the order. Thank you.
You are appreciated, sir.
You bet. Christian Walker.
What's up, people? We're back from the holiday. How we all doing? Oh boy, we have a lot. If you checked out the thumbnail, yes, that is a real clip. It's coming. Not yet. So, just want to say thank you. And we have a P.O. box, and I got a card from my one of my mods with the most, Monica, one of the biggest supporters, and he sends the card, beautiful card for Mrs. Time Served, and I open it at the post office, and well, I didn't want to open it. As I take it out of the box, red penises come dropping out. So now here I am, this big goon, and there's no more left. But she sends this beautiful card with these bachelorette penises coming out, not knowing that I'm the one that's going to have to pick up the card. So, word of advice. If you're going to send me something, please do not put red penises. Okay? Thanks a lot, Monica, for embarrassing me. And in New Jersey, there are definitely P.O. Box on the floor because you can't pick them up. They're like glued to the floor. Red penises by my P.O. Box. Thank you so much. I love you. Thank you for the card. So, in other news, let's get rolling. How was that premiere today? Boyd and Bryant were on point today. What a day. But you know what? At Here Time Served, we have other judges. We do not discriminate. I have a doozy from Judge Braunlick. So let's get it rolling. You got to hear what this mom does. Oh boy. She's in trouble. Let's get it rolling, people. 1 second. I got so distracted by the Monica penises that I lost the clip. All right, here we go. Cue it up. Day in the life of Time Served. Penises at the P.O. Box. Gotta love it. All right, here we go. And how do you like the new comment highlighter? I finally figured out. Self clap for me. And a lot of new faces. I love to see it. Well, you know, new logos. Love it. Welcome. You need anything? Let us know. Let's roll. No words needed Wednesday.
Court is now in session, middle of page 2, Heather McMullen versus Manuel Medina III.
For the record, this matter is before the court and the plaintiff mother's objection to a referee recommend order which denied her motion to modify parenting time with her 16-year-old daughter. This hearing is being conducted via Zoom. The president is Heather McDonald. Good morning, Ms. McDonald. Ms. McMullen.
McMullen, yes, I'm at
Yes,
McDonald's.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Is Manuel Medina present on audio?
No, sir, he's not.
He did
Okay.
not appear, Your Honor.
Ms. McMullen, you did mail a copy of this notice of hearing to Mr. Medina and the
Yes,
address
sir.
of 12307 Lincoln, Perrysburg.
Yes, sir. I did also mention it. Well, when I had spoke to my daughter on Zoom, I did mention it, and they were aware of the hearing. He also didn't show up for Mr. Nearpass's hearing either.
Okay. The reason that the referee denied your motion was because this court entered an order just a month ago on May 3rd.
Yeah, he mentioned that if I wanted, I mentioned to the Mrs. Patrick that when it comes to any agreeable parenting time with my daughter, there's no way for me to communicate with my children's father. It has to be, you know, through a court, and I apologize for that. It's just there's no way. Like, there was a transportation issue. I was mentioning I did have her the first, second, third weekend of the month, as well as I think if there was a fifth weekend in the month and the holidays, and the schedule went well for a couple years. We were following that schedule. There was no issues Hobby Nels was taking me as a licensed driver to go pick her up and bring her back. But there's a change in patient because of some of Hobby's schedule and some things like that. He wasn't able to do it. So I wanted to tell my children's father that I have to change the schedule, and he just said, nope, you're not allowed to come get her. You have transportation problems. That's your problem. And so he was withholding her, and I wasn't able to go see her or pick her up. And I had to wait for another hearing. And then Mr. Nearpass mentioned, you have to object it to go in front of Judge Braun. Like,
Okay,
the
yep.
step, you're familiar with it. And I said, yeah, yes.
All right, thank you, Ms. McMullen. Ms. Patrick, there are two, look like identical wrecks in the court's queue. They're both the same, correct?
They are both the same, Your Honor. I do apologize. I'll get rid of one
All
of
right,
them.
Ms. McMullen, Ms. Patrick's recommending that the court adopt and modify the recommendation, and your parenting time should be reasonable, liberal, as the parties can agree. The question is, can you and Mr. Medina agree upon parenting time schedule for Selena?
See, that's the thing, Your Honor. I can't even talk to him and say, hey,
Okay,
can
hold
I
on, Ms.
get her
McMullen,
this?
listen to the question. Can you and Mr. Medina agree upon a parenting time schedule?
No, and that's
All
why
right.
I thought.
So this is not gonna work, Ms. Patrick, if they cannot communicate. Now, I'm not sure the situation. Looks like we had a recommended order from Mr. Nearpass April 6th. Mother was at that time seeking to expand parenting time. The testimony demonstrated that her parenting time, that mother does not provide a proper environment. There's no oversight. Mother allows the child to engage in alcohol and drug use.
What?
That's not true. We had
So
pictures
hold
and we
on,
had the
Ms.
attorney.
McMullen.
Okay, so I'm sure there's a lot of parents out there that condone it, let them get away with it. It's awful. So mom is vehemently denying it. So now we are dealing with mom in denial, and it's he said, she said. I don't know if there was proof or not. I was working.
Do not interrupt, Ms. McMullen. So the court entered an order, Ms. Patrick, on May 3rd. The mother's contact with the child was to be Zoom on Saturdays and Sundays at noon, and the paternal grandmother shall supervise the Zoom
Sarah.
contact. There obviously
Not
was
cool.
significant concerns on the part of the court a month ago. So I'm not sure what is, it seems to me that if the court recalls, alcohol was being consumed by the 16-year-old, there was not
No,
supervision,
Your
and
Honor.
hold on, Ms.
No.
McMullen, do not interrupt. There was also a discharge of a firearm that occurred at Ms. McMullen's home. That's what was alleged back then. That's why
Correct,
court
Your
entered an order,
Honor,
so I'm
my
not sure.
son.
Ms.
My
McMullen,
son.
do not interrupt. I don't know what's changed since then, Ms. Patrick, that would cause us to reverse what we did a month ago.
Well, Your Honor, the recommendation is that they agree on it because the child's going to be 17 years old.
Right,
on
but they can't agree.
August
They
2nd.
cannot agree. I don't want Ms. McMullen to be back next month. She's gonna be back next month because they cannot agree. I
will-
want to put some end to this, so
Okay, I will modify the recommendation, Your Honor.
what would you suggest? I mean, Ms. McMullen, have you had the Zoom contact with your daughter?
I have. I do Zoom her every weekend. He holds the camera
Okay.
and listens to our conversation
Okay.
and walks in front of the camera and
Okay.
stuff like
Who
that.
do you live with?
I have my own apartment. I just moved. I have a new home in River Raisin.
Who do you live with?
It's just me and Tom Sam. I believe you're familiar with him. He's a veteran.
No, I don't know Tom Sands.
I thought you might have seen us before around, and sometimes we wave to you if we see you. So I thought maybe
What?
were familiar with Tom.
Your Honor, I was
How many-
hesitant to set a schedule. I'll kind of tell you what I was thinking.
Weirdo.
I was hesitant to set a schedule for the 17-year-old because she has
Oh, you know Tom. I don't know him. She's like, well, yeah, we wave at you.
a job. She's going to be going back to school and she has her own vehicle.
What's up, Randy?
So
Okay.
Glad you're
that
here.
was kind of, I was thinking maybe it would be better if she had a little more control, not control because she's 17, but she does have a job, mother's indicated, and she does have her own schedule. However, if the court would like me to set times, I can do that.
All right, but the court makes some inquiries. Ms. McMullen, Ms. McMullen, how many bedrooms does your apartment have?
My bedroom has 2.
Okay, so there you got, Selena would have her own bedroom, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, where does Selena work?
She works at Burger King, Your Honor.
Okay,
All right.
what are her hours? Does she work on weekends? Does she have days off?
Yeah, she does
Definitely
work
monkey.
part-time. She has days off. She's always scheduled her parenting time with me around work. She enjoys coming here.
Does she have a
enjoys
set
it.
work schedule or does it change every week?
She changes around. She doesn't work like a same day every week,
All right,
kind of. She
So
switches it
it's-
around.
Monkey.
all right, so it's hard to establish a schedule.
It's the weekend. She usually doesn't work on the weekend.
Okay,
And she,
so
I
what do
was gonna
what do you
ask your-
propose on weekends? What do you propose on weekends? Are
I
you,
was
do you
just-
work on weekends?
I don't. I work Monday through Friday, 9 to 4.
Okay, okay, what do you propose on weekends? Do you think Selena would want to spend the night or just to come over for the day on Saturday and Sunday?
I believe she'd want to come and spend the night. We have a pool where we stay at. I think she would be able to enjoy some swimming
Okay.
and some time,
Okay,
with mom.
the court's just inquiring if we should have a specific schedule, so there's not a lot of argument between you
Welcome,
and
Rex.
Mr. Medina.
Let's
What
roll.
about alternating weekends?
Yes, and the transportation was
No.
an issue, sir. I was
Membership.
mentioning that she has her
Grab those memberships, people.
own vehicle. What if on a Saturday or Sunday, she was able to drive down here and on her own time from like 10 to 2 and visit, and maybe the third weekend of the month, I would come down there and pick her up for the weekend, and she could spend the weekend with me. That way, the transportation's not such a hard.
Memberships are flying. Thank you, ladies. Thank you so much.
Idea because it was such a good schedule for the couple of years, but then transportation's kind of changed and it's kind of an issue.
What do you
with everyone.
suggest? What do you
I-
suggest for parenting time?
That's what I was asking, if she would be able to maybe drive seldomly on her own time a little bit, and then if I could pick her up a weekend or every other weekend, a month to come stay with me myself. I would take the responsibility to pick her up also.
That's up to her whether or not she's gonna drive. She may not have the money to drive and she may want you to pick her up,
Okay.
Ms. McMullen. So I'm not gonna order that she drive to your home. It's your responsibility to make sure that you
I
pick
just
her up and
meant if
drop
she
her
was
off.
able to, if she wanted to. I
Okay.
thought I'd give her some driving time too, because I don't think she's allowed to drive her car.
Right. Ms. Patrick, do you have any
Mother-
question, Ms. McMullen? I'm just wondering, maybe like alternating weekends?
Your Honor, what if we did every other Saturday and she said 10 a.m. to 2?
That might be hard with the transportation. It'd be better if she was able to stay overnight and I could take her home Sunday morning or Sunday evening. I believe it was Saturday 10 till Sunday at like 7.
What about Saturday, Your Honor, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.? I know the court has some concern of her spending the night there.
Well, again, it sounds like she has moved, Ms. McMullen, and.
Yes, I did. And my son's not staying with me at the moment. He's at his dad's and his grandma's right now. Well, his dad kicked him out again, so now my son's somewhere else and my son's working. It's a complicated story when we discuss the other child, Your Honor. I
Right.
apologize.
Let's try the overnight since you've moved, and obviously, if your son was one that had brought the alcohol, you need to supervise your daughter. She's still a minor. You need to make sure that she's not having boyfriends over, that she's not consuming alcohol. And I don't recall the specifics about the firearm discharge. Are there any firearms in your home?
No, Your Honor, there was something going on with my son and some teenagers, and I do my parenting and I do my best. And honestly, I've given you proof. Like I don't drink, Your Honor. I haven't drank in.
Does your son spend weekends at your home?
Not at the moment. No, I told him he needs to stay where he's at working, and he needs to keep focused and he's got some different goals, and I've been kind of working with him on that. He's staying somewhere right now doing his own thing at the moment.
Right. Well, there are
When he's
siblings.
at my house, I mean, that's okay, I guess, but if it were.
There are
to be-
siblings, but there probably would not be a space for him to spend the nights.
They wouldn't be
If
there
in fact the
together. Your
daughters.
Honor.
Okay, so what about Miss Patrick? What do you think? Maybe every other weekend, maybe Saturdays at 10 o'clock till Sunday at
5.
5 o'clock, something like that.
Mhm.
Ms. McMullen, let's give us a try. We have a specific schedule, alternating weekends at 10 o'clock on Saturday morning till 5 o'clock Sunday evening.
Did you want to commence it this weekend, Your Honor? Weekend of the 8th or the 15th?
I haven't seen her in 4 months. I'd like to
Okay.
start it as soon as possible.
All right, we'll start this weekend. So you obviously need to, you want to come down to the courthouse and pick up a copy of this order
Can we alternate holidays also, Your Honor? Starting, because I know the Thanksgiving and I know the 4th just happened, but I know, after summer, we still got, the Memorial Day, I think, or Labor Day, and then the holidays that are coming. If we could do it now and we could also alternate holidays, that would be great.
And I think you have to file a petition in that regard. You can't work it out with Mr. Medina, then you file a motion. You did not address that in your hearing with the referee. So we're not before the court. The court wants Mr. Medina to provide some input before we adopt the front of the court holiday schedule.
Okay.
Well, I do know there's an order back in 2017 that the holidays as agreed, and if you cannot agree, then the front of the court schedule shall apply.
All right.
So I
something happened.
don't know. I don't think that's been eliminated.
No, it hasn't.
Okay, so we, that's already been addressed, so then that'd be the fallback schedule.
All right. So they said they kind of was losing reception there, or something was going on, but she just dribbles on about her arrangements. But come on, she's got some balls. And speaking of balls, we got balls coming up on our video of the night. Gonna try not to show the balls, but they are there in all their glory. All right, let's go to Judge Washington. This was a great one I've saved. Haven't had the right opportunity to show it. Just shows what an awesome person she is. It's a good one too. So let's get it rolling.
To T00853 as well as 21 T00445.
Paul Barnett on behalf of the township.
Assistant Defender Chinazi Kiriakin on behalf of Mr. Dennis White. Mr. White, can you state your name for the record, please?
Dennis White.
All right, thank you, Mr. White. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, ma'am.
All right, we're here for sentencing today. Have you had a chance to review the pre-sentence investigation report with your client?
We have, Your Honor.
All right, any corrections, additions, or deletions to that report?
None, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Barnett, anything you want to say with respect to the recommendation in this case?
Your Honor, I've also reviewed the report and recommendation. I share probation's concerns and would ask you to adopt the recommendation.
Thank you. Ms. Kiriakin.
We do not have any issues with the recommendation. Mr. White is going to do his best. He's been having a number of health issues, and we're hopeful that this second go round will definitely make the necessary changes to save his life.
Mr. White, anything you want to say to me today, sir? I'm sorry?
No, Your Honor, I've been explaining what to do.
Mr. White, I'm extremely concerned about you.
I can make it louder, guys.
Your situation is
Better?
extremely sad.
I think it was just her courtroom. I boosted it. Should be good now.
And you,
Your Honor, my whole life has been sad.
and that's what I'm worried about. That your whole life has been sad and you are getting to a point where you just don't seem to have real hope. And it's showing itself in very bad choices. And you suffered a lot of trauma, sir. A lot of trauma, a lot of loss. I don't think you've ever really processed that in a positive way. You seem to not have been able to figure out ways to be happy with yourself. And you feel alone, and I get that. But there's so much opportunity around you, and you just don't seem to see it. And you seem to, it seems like your anger that you really have is showing itself in a lot of sadness. And then you drink.
No, that's not the jail, guys. That's the courtroom. Like the lobby of the courtroom. When you don't have a computer or access to a Zoom, I think, so you could go in there. From what
And
I've
that's
heard,
causing your
you could ask these Michigan people. They know what's up. Jersey don't have that.
health problems because you probably just don't want to do this thing called life. I really hope that you make different choices.
Wow.
I do see you, sir. I hope that you can see yourself.
That's a lot. That's heavy right there. That's heavy stuff.
I know you've been through this before and you're upset that you got to go through it again and the method that it came through. I understand all that. But you're not out of the clear yet. If your probation had, the last time, if you had been discharged with like improvement, like you were improving, this would look different. But so far, you haven't figured out how to improve. You're just managing, getting by, and blaming everything and every situation on someone else. I don't know how to help you. We can only try to fashion something that will help you. You have to want to help yourself. You have to want to enjoy life other than just drinking it away. You have to want that. So it is a sentence of this court that you serve 93 days in the Washington County Jail, credit for no days served.
Woof.
The balance of that is suspended, so you don't have to do any additional jail time. You'll be on probation. I'm going to put you on probation for 12 months instead of 18 because you already did some time on probation.
Oof. He looks like he don't give a crap.
I see you're not happy with that.
No one wants to go to jail.
I didn't just send you to jail. I put you on probation.
I was going to jail, man.
No, I gave you.
He's a hot mess.
I suspended all of your jail time. So what that means is if you do what you're supposed to do on probation, you don't have to go to jail, sir. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And I cut your probation time down by 6 months to give you 12 months instead of 18 months.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to incentivize you to try to do better with your life. Don't know that this will.
I don't think that he doesn't care about life. I just think it's exactly what Washington said. He just given up. He's afraid he's giving up. That's exactly what it is. And he's slowly killing himself drinking.
And if you don't, then your probation can get extended. But you need to try to do better with your life. You'll have $30 per month in probation oversight fees, fines, and costs in this particular case. One moment.
So that was tough. That's tough. I mean, he's out of it completely, but he does. People in the comments saying he's sad eyes, but that just shows Judge Washington. I mean, he did everything wrong, but she knows it's kind of not on purpose. He doesn't care, not because he doesn't care. You understand? Like, this is like small potatoes in the grand scheme of things for him. I mean, this is just my opinion, but all right. Now, there was a quadruple shooting that led to a couple murders, not all four, but it was a bunch of young kids, Michigan. Judge Fink had I think it was his arraignment or his first appearance. I had this before 4th of July, forgot I recorded it, but it's a good one. So this kid, now talk about not caring. Here we go.
That is a homicide charge.
Love it, Bill Rhodes.
Plus other things.
There you
I've
go.
received a petition requesting a court-appointed lawyer. I will sign that for both files. Go ahead when you're ready, Ms. Kearney.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Mr. Young. We will waive formal reading and stand mute on both files.
Go ahead, Ms. Reiser.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Patricia Reiser on behalf of the people. We are asking for bond to be denied on the homicide case for the reasons that have been stated on the bond form.
What's up, Heineken?
In particular, this is a case where there was apparently some kind of ongoing beef between the defendant and the four victims.
Across the tactical, operational, and strategic spectrum.
One victim was immediately.
Wait, did the prosecutor say an ongoing beef? She really? Could she have chosen another more professional word than beef? It was an ongoing beef, Your Honor.
Deceased. The other one has. Apparently, there was, as I said, an ongoing dispute between the victims and the defendant.
There she go. She used her thesaurus and pulled out dispute. There you go. It's a little better.
The defendant encountered them, immediately grabbed his weapon and began shooting at them, chased them out of the house where they were at. The victims fled. Obviously, all of them were struck. And as I stated, two of them have since passed away. Additionally, there was an Instagram post apparently from the defendant after the fact indicating, I will quote it, but the essence of it is that he had no remorse for what he had done. The quote is, "Don't got no remorse for them shitty ass N-word, sorry for the smoke." And it has a photo of his forehead and his eyes in that with the quote. For them shitty ass, essence of it is that he had no remorse for what he had done. The quote is, "Don't got no remorse for them shitty ass N-word, sorry for the smoke." And it has a photo of his forehead and his eyes in that with the quote. The court rule certainly does allow the court to deny bond in these circumstances, and I am adding all this other information because it's so clear that this defendant is a huge danger to the entire community. So I'm asking the court to deny bond.
And like, you're a prosecutor, you're doing Zoom all day. Can you fix your echo, please?
Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Ms. Pearney.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Young is a resident of Ypsilanti, stays with his mother. He's 19. I believe all of his prior convictions were under HIDA, so I can't see any of those. Well, they're not in the criminal history I have, I should say. He is employed. He's been at his current employment for about a month. I did explain to Mr. Young the court's policy and the court rule in regard to bond in cases like these. He does understand those. On the homicide case, we'd just be asking for a PCC date, obviously. And as for the CCW charge, we'd ask for a low cash bond so he can get credit for that one.
All right, thank you. So, Mr. Young, the court rules, Michigan Court Rule, MCR 6.106 allows the court to deny pretrial release to a person charged with homicide, with murder. Typically, that is what I do in my courtroom. It is also typical for the other judges in Washtenaw County to deny bond to a person that's charged with murder. The reason being, it's really a question of danger to the community. The reason being that in a situation like what you're accused of, it's not clear that there won't continue to be violence going forward. So I am denying bond in file 23FB1433. Ms. Reiser, the bond request is just asking for no contact with the family of Dallas Williams. I don't know if you want to change that or have me include some other, it says victims' families, so I'm not.
So this was last week. I think Peach, Kermit and Peach may have dropped it. We were in the chat together when this was on. I don't think Fink replays her stuff, but we caught this live, so it may have been Peach. Could be wrong.
I don't know exactly what we should have for the no contact.
Your Honor, it would be all of the victims' families. I
Okay,
unfortunately
so
don't have all the contact information for them as of yet.
yeah,
But
I'm not sure. I'm not. I think that's something that is going to be a little bit challenging to enforce if Mr. Young is inclined to try to violate that order, because I can't specify the name of every single person. So I'm going to go ahead and order it, but I do think that we might want to work towards being more specific as the case. Mr. Young, I'm ordering you not to have any contact with any person that is a family member of any of the victims in that case. All right, so what I'm saying about why it might be difficult is I'm not able to name every single person that I don't want you to have contact with, but generally speaking, parents, siblings, children, aunts and uncles of the victims and the alleged victims. So that would be no contact with the family of Dallas Williams, Tyrese Burks, Travis Williams, or Carter Williams. Okay? You understand what I mean by that?
Yes.
Right. On the other file, the bond is $10,000 with the right to post 10%. The reason for setting that bond slightly higher than I might in other CCW is that while there was a warrant out for Mr. Young's arrest on that CCW case, these murder charges, the events leading to the murder charges occurred. So the carrying of the concealed weapon ended up being a violent situation that caused the death of 2 people. Both cases, the next court date, the probable cause conference, will be on July 13th, approximately 9 a.m. over Zoom. Anything anybody else wants to say on this?
Okay, that was a good one. Yeah, Crime Time. I can check out Crime Time. There's just so many court shows. I found a good one. I'm not gonna drop the name yet. Until I show one of her videos. She's a new one. She's good. Very, very straight to the point. She's good, and I'm gonna put a video up probably tomorrow. Give her some credit for it. Okay, so all right. Now And also, let's just chat for a minute before I get into the main event clip of the night. So yesterday, there was Irish Demon, my boy, helping me from day one, used a video of mine. I don't care. Ever. Okay? Especially him. So in the chat, someone said, oh, this is because I guess I was barbecuing with the family, so I didn't know what was going on. So apparently he said, I don't know who emailed me this. If you know, shout it out, apparently. So it went on, the clip went on. Someone went into the chat, or was in the chat, is a fan of ours, and said, this is time served. No one gives this guy any credit. Like something like crazy stupid. Which isn't true. Team Skeptic, Irish Demon, anybody who uses my stuff says time served. And honestly, it's fair use. I don't care. And my logo's up there anyway, so the person doesn't have to say it. And all of his fans are my fans and vice versa, so who cares? And it flew Irish off the just went on a rant. So I felt so bad. So apparently, and then so I caught wind of it through Discord. Somebody hit me up, and I went in and smoothed everything out, but I felt so bad. So listen, if you're in any of the chat, you listen, you know who I get along with, and you know who I don't. Not that I don't, it's just that from the beginning, some people act like I don't exist and still don't, which I don't care. But just be courteous, because I know we're a little off the wall in time served. So just throwing that out there. Just be careful what you say, because that could happen. All right. Sorry I went off the handle. All right. So here we go. Okay. Here we go. Now, every once in a while, when I'm uploading a video, I find old clips, maybe I find a gem. Boy, did I find a gem. So, brace yourselves, people. Let's go. Now, you gotta give me a second. All right, I gotta put something up. So let's. Okay. All right. Okay.
What is happening?
Look at the judge. Oh my god. He blocked all the good stuff. Look at the judge. Come on. Oh my god. That is so funny. Okay, here we go.
Okay, Doug, it's Rayfield. Okay, hear you.
Are you Brian Ratfield? Yes, ma'am. All right, Mr. Ratfield, you're charged with interfering with government property. Do you understand what you're charged with? Can you hear me? Yes. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Y'all know I should be at Panama City Police Department running something by now. Y'all know who I am?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you, sir. What did you say?
You probably in the room over there talking to me. I didn't do a damn thing. There's one eyewitness that said something, and I haven't even got paperwork that says my charge. What are y'all running here? That's not how it's ran. That's not how a damn prison is ran. This is not even a jail don't even run like this.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't hear what he said. What's the problem?
I have never even gotten to what I've been charged with. I had one eyewitness, there was never even nobody there. What do y'all say? That should have been destruction of property of what they're trying to sell me. They said I broke a window.
Do is speak with your attorney regarding your matter, sir. I'll go ahead and appoint a court-appointed attorney to assist you. Do you understand what you're charged with?
The fake screen to make it look like you're a judge.
Mr. Radfield?
Yeah, I'm talking about a lawyer when I talk to her.
Miss,
yeah, she's not even, that's not even a real thing. It's digitally put up on there. You'll see the white behind this shit. You'll see how.
all right.
Judge, you been Uncle Robert.
Okay, I just need to give him his court date, though.
This ain't first appearance. Where's my paperwork saying I got first appearance? What's the court date?
Mr. Radfield,
Come up here, something.
your bond is $7,500 and you're ordered not to violate any laws if you post bond. Do you think you'll be able to post bond?
I haven't got one phone call. I haven't got to do anything. So what y'all legally obtaining me unjustly? I'm a tax-paying citizen, and I am being illegally obtained.
Okay, we've appointed an attorney to assist you, sir.
I have my own property, my own Panama City, Florida.
I can't understand what you're saying when you're screaming. I'm going to appoint an attorney to assist you. Your court date is set for July the 22nd at 8 a.m. in courtroom 202. When your attorney comes and speak with you, sir, you can discuss your case with her or him, and they can advise you on how to proceed. And you may return with the deputy. Thank you.
That don't even sound like the right charge. It should have been destruction of property, which is a bullshit ass fucking misdemeanor.
He said it's not even the right charge. So after that, he said, "You're not even booking me in the right charge," with his ass hanging out. Quality clip. Quality. And guess what? It gets better. Oh boy. No, not that one. Oh boy, that was frightening. Frightening. Okay, so next one. Here we go. Thurston, we had a little fight between two people, and we're gonna get this going and call it a night.
Okay, Mr. Bates, you're here today for your arraignment and first appearance on a charge of simple assault. And Mr. Bates, did you get a chance to talk to Ms. Langley today before court?
I talked to one public defender that it turns out was actually representing my wife in a previous case against me, or against her.
Okay.
Assaulting me, so I don't know what's going on with the public defender's office, this or that. Yeah.
Well, we'll sort that out. We'll get it sorted out. Ms. Langley.
Thank you, Your Honor. So there is actually a pending case, and I do represent the
Middle of psychotic break. Poor guy. I think his whole life is a psychotic break, Sarah.
the person who's the alleged victim in this case is the alleged perpetrator in the other case, and I represent her there. So at this point, I did verify that he understood his rights, which he does, and he does want to plead not guilty. I don't think I can stipulate to probable cause, so I'd ask the city to establish. And he will be heard, no contact orders. Thank you.
All right, Mr. McClellan, you're okay. You're pursuing this matter, then I take it.
At this time, we're proceeding with the arraignment today. Yes.
All right.
Mr.
So,
Bates.
Mr. Bates, let me confirm with you a mailing address at 631 Midway in Lacey.
Yeah.
All right. So, Mr. McClellan, as far as probable cause, do you swear the testimony you give in these matters this afternoon will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Probable cause.
So for purposes of today, seeking probable cause that one count of simple assault, domestic violence. The facts in support of that come from a police report from Officer Vavela with the Lacey Police Department, who reports that on around 1 o'clock in the morning on July 5th, 2023, dispatched to a domestic violence call at 631 Midway Drive Northeast in Lacey, Washington. The reporting party was Tiffany Bates, who reported that her husband, Thomas Bates, were arguing. They were arguing about sex when she says that Thomas choked her. Officers arrived, contacted Tiffany.
See, did he say they were arguing about sex and he choked her? I'm not being funny. Is that what he said?
Inside the residence. They were arguing about sex when she says that Thomas choked her.
Okay.
Officers arrived, contacted Tiffany inside the residence. They first, she mentioned that during their physical contact, she was being aggressive. And during their interaction, she claimed that Thomas grabbed her with one hand by the throat and pushed her onto the couch. They both continued to start to argue. She stood up off the couch. As she stood up, he pushed her with both hands back down on the couch and then left the room. The officer was able to speak with Thomas as well there. He agreed that they were arguing throughout the night. He mentioned
Master Bates is nothing but a jerk off.
He grabbed her by the arms, pushed her on the couch after she was angry and was aggressive with him. He denied ever putting his hands around her neck. But based on the officer's interactions, they did place Mr. Bates in arrest for a simple assault.
I'll find probable cause for simple assault. What's the city's recommendation on release?
Well, Your Honor, this is a tough situation where Ms. Langley already pointed out that, and I believe Tiffany Bates is on Zoom call. I don't know if she wants to be heard. I think there's a conflict too, where she reached out, potentially talked to our victim advocate, but John Quill's also already worked with Mr. Bates as the alleged victim in the case against her. So my understanding and looking at the notes from that case, the city did ask for a no contact order. The court did not impose a no contact order. So there was no indication of violations that Ms. Bates was in. Now Mr. Bates is before the court. The city has those same concerns, just on now reports of violence amongst the two back and forth. And I understand it's problematic if maybe Mr. Bates gets an order when she didn't, but the city, I believe, requested one against.
Oh, look at them two. They were definitely having kinky sex. Definitely. Look at her. Chad McClellan is the worst attorney to deal with this right now.
Tiffany Bates, in response.
He's the Ben Stein of Thurston.
To that allegation. And so the city has that same position to ask for an order today, but I want the court to be aware of that history. So there's a tough situation with allegations between both parties. And with Ms. Bates on, I know Ms. Langley represents her, so I don't know if she has any reservations about her addressing the case. Certainly, the city has no objection as long as it's tied to this incident, and I wouldn't want her to violate any of her or waive any rights by talking about the prior case.
All right, well, Spates, you're here. You can, if you'd like, address me about whether a no contact order should be issued. You don't have to, but you can. And if you want to talk to Ms. Langley about it first, you can do that.
Yes, I would like to speak with Ms. Langley if that's possible.
Okay. All right, can you put those two in the breakout room? All right. So while that breakout room is occurring, I'm going to suspend this hearing for a moment and go to the county jail. Over at county jail, what's your name, please? Would you let the corrections officers know they need to turn on your sound?
Okay, so I'm going to jump for a second because she goes into a breakout room. So
You got
just
it,
give me a
okay.
second.
From the state or by motion, oh,
Gonna take a look here and,
at this point,
okay. Looks like they had trial confirmation.
this point.
Okay.
Okay, so we're
And
back.
do you want to have further confirmation as well?
Yes, please.
State would request another confirmation hearing as well, please.
All right. We can set for, before I say that.
I can't with Bill Rhodes. I can't. Absolutely
File
can't.
2 for 726. Yeah, your video and your audio.
All right, here we go.
And Your Honor.
All right, here we go. Sorry, guys.
All right, there. Ms. Bates, did you get a chance to talk to Ms. Langley?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so after doing that, is there anything you wanted to say?
Just that I love him and I
Aw.
just want the best for each of us. I don't want to continue this cycle. I really don't.
And Mr. McClellan, were you going to add anything
Try the missionary position instead of whips and chains.
about this?
Well, I'm sorry. Just if I can't remember if I said it before. The city's not otherwise asking that Mr. Bates be held. So we're in agreement with him being released from custody. Just not having any criminal law violations, not possess a dangerous weapon or firearm, and then this being kind of the more
Make no sense.
issue for the court regarding the no conduct. I have one prepared. It seems there's some concerns the city has with them being together. They do have 2 children in common, so we're not trying to interfere with either of them, but this is 2 different cases, 2 different parties with allegations of assaultive behavior, assaultive incidents where that's the city's concern, but as I mentioned before, it's somewhat of a challenge because an order was not issued against the previous party.
All right, can I be allowed to speak?
All right, what would you like to tell me, Mr. Bates?
So as far as the no contact orders go, if there's one put in place, so be it. If there's not, so be it. Either way, my main objective is to make sure that my wife and my kids are taken care of and as comfortable as could possibly be. I just need to be able to go to work every day in order to make that happen. And I will be uncomfortable for the rest of my life so long as the bills are paid, the lights are on, and there's food in the cabinets. So we have a joint bank account. If there's a no contact order, she still has access to all the money. That's fine by me. Just make sure the bills are paid and the kids have clothes on their backs and shoes on their feet and food in their bellies. We can sort it
Make sure the whips are greased, the cuffs are in the nightstand, and the wax is hot.
out whenever.
All right, well, Mr. Bates, I'm going to appoint Pacific Point to be your lawyer in this case. I'm concerned about contact because I'm aware of the prior incident. I think I heard that at the initial appearance. I'm also aware that there was a protection order issued by the Superior Court, and that order ended up not being issued, probably because nobody appeared for it. So this overall is a situation, I think, that has become volatile for whatever reason. There are unresolved conflicts here that are resulting in now 2 arrests and in addition, a protection order petition. So at this point, I am going to issue a no contact order. So Mr. Bates, I'm going to release you. That I will do on personal recognizance. Conditions of your release are don't violate the law, don't possess firearms or dangerous weapons, and don't have any contact with Tiffany until further order of the court. And we can review that at future hearings.
You're right.
So how is that going to work with our shared dwelling? Like if I want to come home to see the kids or get my belongings.
Did he say dwelling? What a dick.
And she leaves, is that going to be okay, or am I just not allowed to go back to the property?
Well, you can't go back to the property as long as she's residing there. Okay, so if she's residing there, you can't. If she's not residing there, you can. I can't issue an order that determines whether she lives there or not. But if she does live there, you can't.
No, I was saying more like if she were to leave for an hour.
Like for work? No, that's the same thing as.
So that I can go and get my belongings, things like that. Like how all of my tools for work, my car.
Yeah, you can.
There.
All of his tools for work. The beads. The beads, the the Astroglide. Yeah, we know your game. Chinese knockoff Keanu Reeves.
You can pick those up with a law enforcement escort. You're not going to violate the order. There's a provision in the order. You can look at that and it tells you that you can go with a law enforcement escort and get your personal things.
Okay.
That's fine.
How about a third party contact so that I can see my children?
Well, there's nothing about this order that prohibits you from seeing your kids.
But I can't contact Tiffany.
Right.
What about third party contact?
Is there a third party who's going to do that?
Yeah, my mother would be willing to. Actually, I'm not sure. One either my mother or his mother would probably be willing to do that.
Well, maybe that's something we can look at as an order modification in the future, but I can't sign up somebody's mother to do this without knowing that they're willing to do it.
I guess we're just trying to figure out how we can transfer the kids back and forth without speaking.
I mean,
could you do that by text or email?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that for now and then see if one of your mothers wants to get involved as a third party.
I prepare that order. It should be in the judge's folder. If you can make any exceptions that you're granting.
Yeah, I've got it here and I'm doing that. Okay, so that sounds reasonable. So Mr. Bates and Mrs. Bates, text and emails, okay. Just limit that to your children, matters to do with your children and children exchange. And then in the future, like, your next court hearing, if somebody's mother wants to be involved as a third party, then we can address that too. All right. And Mr. Bates, the one thing I don't think I got from you that I need is your phone number so that we can text your court dates to you.
360
Okay.
556 5703.
So you'll get mail and text reminders about your court dates.
So to my cell phone
Right.
and to the mailbox at 631,
Right.
where I'm not allowed to be.
Right.
Okay.
Unless you want to give me a different mailing address.
My mother just moved into a new residence, and I don't know the address for that. My
Well-
father, I don't know where I know where my family lives. I just don't know their physical addresses.
Sure. Well, the text is more reliable than the mail anyway, so you'll get your notices. All right, Mr. Bates, that's all for today. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, people. I'm so glad you enjoyed the show. And no show of underwear, clothes, the right to bare ass. We support the Second Amendment, Clause B, the right to bare ass, and all of the whips and chains and all that stuff going on. Guys, I just want to thank everything. Thanks a lot for everything, guys. You guys are awesome. Make sure to check out my videos. Basically, what I'm going to be doing for here on in is a premiere or two during the day and then my live at night. So that's going to be the thing. All right? So look out for the premieres during the day, and I'm going to drop it around 3, 4 o'clock when the major courts shut down for the day. And then lives at night, pretty much 8 o'clock is going to be the time. Eastern. Everything is Eastern Standard Time. All right, guys. Thank you for everything. God bless. Stay safe. See you tomorrow. My name's Phil. This is Times. Oh, wait. I almost spoiled it. I'm Phil. This is Time. And you have. Yes, we'll get the pigeon.